Where's the next one? I know y'all got one.
Well, how long ago was the first issue?
About 20 years ago, because I've been counting the days.
It actually came out before Snow White.
I would say it was at least a good 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
January 2006.
Yeah. Oh, wow, man. Did I nail it or what?
Yeah, you did.
And the thing is, it's not like they waited 5 years to work on it. They got right on it, finished it, and then they got into a legal battle with Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
So it's been tied up for about 2 years.
Oh, no shit.
Okay.
Okay. I thought they were just like perfecting their craft. Like, getting them jokes ready. I was like, man, this is going to be the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, no.
Damn it.
I think that the first one, which was, it was cute. It was like really terrible animation. First off, like awful.
It's one of those where like the first time I saw it, I went with no expectation. They didn't have a screen for it, and I just went, I want to see it. I remember it being murky, and I was just like, I don't have high hopes for this, but then it was funny.
Yeah, and that's what saved it.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
Because I mean, I think I rented it like about 3 months after it came out, and it's one of those things I was just like, that's cool. That's nice pick up, whatever. That was it. Checked it out, and I was like, "Wow, this animation does." But it was made fucking in community college, but it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, it was during the time like the heyday of Patrick Warburton doing animated voices.
Yeah.
I mean, now he does it so much; it's not even anything special.
And he was there playing the big bad wolf, of course, who was dealing with Red Riding Hood, who was voiced by Anne Hathaway. Yeah. And one of the things that worked about that movie so well was that it was a take on Kurosawa's Rashomon, where it was like, wait, that's not what really happened. Let's hear this other version of the story as it kept going back.
The classic point of view.
Yeah, the point of hearing different point of views until finally the person who's like sorting them all out manages to figure out what really, in fact,
Well,
happened.
also was a take on the Big Bad Wolf, where he wasn't so much after Red Riding Hood. He was Chevy Chase from Fletch.
Yeah, completely.
You're right. A reporter doing different disguises. He had his great sidekick, the Twitchy the Squirrel, which was at the same time that Over the Hedge had a over caffeinated squirrel too. It was kind of an odd thing going on, but anyway, it was one of those surprises.
Outside the shitty animation, and getting it recently on Blu-ray and rewatching it, I was like, oh, it'll be all cleaned up, it'll look great. No, it still looks terrible.
No, it does look awful.
Animation is awful.
Yeah. And unfortunately, here we are, like 2011, many years after the fact. The film, while far from ahead, certainly has gained some attention. Like, for instance, the Jim Henson Company was trying to make deals with the people involved with it. I mean, there's enough tension that, like, they've taken all this time to make a sequel with Wing 2. Which is terrible title. Good versus Evil. Like, really? No, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But they have upgraded nothing except putting it in really mediocre.
Well, okay, I'll give them a pass on this much. The animation is better. It's still not good, but it's better. But if it hadn't been even any better than what it was, it wouldn't have looked like the original Hood movie. Like, the original Hood movie was so bad, you had to stick to that somewhat. It's the same.
Well, part of the problem is that it looks like a cutscene from a PlayStation 2 video game.
Okay. Yes, it does.
The whole thing. And it moves like the playing of a PlayStation 2 video game all the way through it. I can't believe that this wasn't just a game.
It's funny because they excuse it in the notes from the Blu-ray, how they say, like, no, we were going for this look that was less like animation and more like the Rankin Bass Christmas specials that was stop motion dolls. That's like, look at it like, guys, that's not what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like, it looks just like you said, community college, like some students from community college. And this is not much better, but hey, you know what? You were able to forgive the animation before and still give it this time,
It's
right?
funny. I mean, it's like watching Beavis and Butthead. I'm not going to be the asshole going, if only this animation were better. If only it was HD quality.
Except this does not have the jokes.
It's dog shit. It's so not funny. For one thing, the plot is not anywhere near as interesting. Now, you've already got the characters set up. So this time it's Hayden Panettiere playing Little Red Riding Hood. Panettiere. See, it just makes me think of her panties when I feel dirty. I'm just trying to say the cheerleader from Hero.
Come on. She's red this time instead of Anne Hathaway. I mean, not that it makes a big difference.
And they all work for a spy agency that's run by the frog character. Kirkendall, is that right? No, I'm sorry. David Ogden Stiers, who plays Detective Nicholas Flippers.
Yeah, Nick Flippers.
Okay. And so it's like this spy agency that patrols the fairy tale world that they all live in. And while they're dealing with a situation with a sort of Hansel and Gretel witch preparing to eat them, Little Red Riding Hood is off training with a sort of mystical martial arts Sisters of the Hood, right? Organization of grannies that protect their cooking related fighting skills. And most especially a magical truffle that apparently will make the person who eats it completely invulnerable. The only thing is they figure out someone has stolen the recipe. So of course she has to go back, and this all ties in together.
Granny's making kidnapping. You got to save Granny. You got to get the recipe back.
Yeah, and
save Hansel and Gretel.
And the thing is, it's all actually very, very straightforward. There's no twists or turns that are unexpected like there was in the first one. The Big Bad Wolf is much less of a Fletch character in this one, and just a wise ass, really.
Well, they made them all secret agents. Like before, Nicky Flippers was just a detective, but now he's the head of a spy organization, ATP, to deliver guarantee happy endings ever after, or happy ever after, something like that. But now they've moved it to make it a spy parody. It's so less interesting. And to them, like so many people, they go, you see the thing with spies, that means we can have gadgets. We can do whatever we want. And it's like, well, not really. There are some rules, and if you break those rules, what you have here is just a mishmash of just a bunch of, it's just a bunch of gags going from one to the next without any real feeling or feeling like that it's all strung together. And this could even fly if the jokes were funny, but they're not. They just shotgun everything that they think of. There's no joke that they wrote down that they talked.
So, you think you can deliver that basket of goodies across my bridge, do you? Oh, no. You did not just say that. I did not hear that. There ain't no way my bridge would be across by some mother deliver, red hood wearing, fair tale cliche little girl. Get up out of here.
Boring.
Oh, mother.
I just want to get this out real quick because I am really sick of this whole like spy bullshit that they really like throw on these kids movies, and a large part of it is due to those fucking cats and dogs movies, which I'm done with it. Because I mean,
Spy Kids
it's like the lowest common denominator now to me when you have to incorporate a spy angle into these types of movies.
Well, honestly, that's the movie that it reminded me of most of the time was Cats and Dogs.
See, I think Cats and Dogs is Casablanca next to this. I mean, there were actually scenes in Cats and Dogs that made me personally laugh. There was nothing in here that made me laugh. I mean, I can't believe I didn't walk out. I think the ghost of you. Did you like die at the operating table for a couple of minutes? Because I felt like I was trying to get up and something was pulling me back. No, you're not leaving this motherfucker. Because it was just that level of bad. There was nothing redeeming here at all. Not a moment of this made me so much as chuckle. And you know what? I love Patrick Warburton. I love when he's playing this type of character. He's like one of my favorite voice actors right now. And wow, they didn't give him anything funny to say. It feels over-calculated. Yep. Every bit of it feels like so self-aware. I mean, not even in a meta sense, in a sort of like over-analysis of pop culture, where they are like, okay, well, we have to reference this, and now this has to reference that. And you're like, no, it really doesn't. Just make an entertaining story. Make these characters where we give a shit about them. I mean, if they're going to give them something funny to say, it's got to be because it's actually funny in relation to the situation.
Let me frame this for you. Not only do they throw in so many pop culture references that they do the say hello to my little friend joke, but they do the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker joke twice. Yeah. It's like you don't even realize that you've already done this. You're throwing it in again.
They have a mobster character in there when he's the giant from Jack and
and it's Brad Garrett doing the voice. Yeah, he's probably like the best voice actor in this whole thing.
But this is the type of movie that feels it really needs to do that. Are you talking to me? Yeah, talking to me?
Do they not realize?
No, I'm sorry, it's not that.
Do I abuse you? And I'm like,
yeah, that's the one they do. Yeah, I
Do
get
they not realize?
I get the cliches mixed up.
Yeah.
Do they not realize in 2011?
Oh, clearly they don't.
Yeah, I mean, if it was 2006, it would be way past the time. But it was cool to make those jokes.
It's written on a level for kids who are way too young to know any of what they're talking about.
In which case, why don't you just put them in front of a fucking aquarium? You know, I mean, I heard one critic defend this movie by saying, you know what, if your kids like the first one, don't bother taking them to this one because they're too old for it. You know, kids who are that like really young age, who are undiscriminating, It's like, stop talking to little kids.
Underdeveloped.
That's not a fetus might enjoy this. If you injected it in the womb.
Yeah.
Really? How do you know? And, really, so why would you pick
Can't be.
this instead of something that was free? That was like just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would you go spend $12? And I don't think you should.
Yeah, one of my favorite things in the first movie was Andy Dick as the villain, the Bongo the
Yeah.
Bunny.
Yeah.
Because it was a surprise when he
Awesome.
became the villain, and then, yeah, he was awesome. So they do bring him in, because I saw his name in the credits. 'Cause
I'm
it's
not
weird.
surprised by that.
Well, it's weird how this movie has all the credit actors, like, on a black screen, come up before the actual movie.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen a movie do that.
It says the title, and then it's like featuring
Yeah.
with the talents of, and then shows each actor and who they're playing. And
Maybe
you're
they
like,
saw the movie. Maybe they saw the movie and they're like,
They say,
you know,
like,
how about
nobody's
you
getting out of this.
Put our names up first. At least.
Well, there's a hell of a lot. There's a hell of a lot of talent in here altogether.
I mean, you've got Glenn Close, Andy Dick, Martin Short, David Ogden Stiers, Bill Hader, Amy Poehler.
Joan Cusack, Brad Garrett, Wayne Newton,
Wow.
Cheech and Chong.
Oh, that's right.
What? Heidi Klum?
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why. Klum. Is it Klum?
Yeah.
It sounds like something.
Well, she's German, so.
Sounds like something I'd bang.
But it is kind of funny that they have, supermodel Heidi Klum play a character named Heidi, who's a big fat son.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they bring back the rabbit Andy Dick character just long enough to say, "Ha Silence of the Lambs" joke. Like, wow.
A joke that they use the second Cats and Dogs.
Yeah, another joke that's just not funny anymore.
And the thing is, like, I was like, oh, they brought him back, and it's Andy Dick. And I'm hoping he's going to be the big villain of the piece, because it needs that.
Yeah.
And no, it's just an excuse to do the Hannibal Lecter joke and then get him out of it.
Yeah, an injection of Andy Dick to get him alive.
When it actually gets to the point where you find out who the villains are, and they go through the big action scene at the end, I know this seems weird complaining about this, everything else is bad. But the idea is that they're like gigantic, it's like a city destroying type of thing. Except when the film feels like it, they change size drastically. Like
Yes.
at one point, they're the size where their heads bump into the ceiling of the room that they're in. They're maybe 15 feet tall. In the next scene, they're like 35, 40 feet tall, and then they're small again. And come on, man.
Yeah.
This is the type of way that this is written, and this is the type of way this is shot. Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, they were actually so impressed with their own jokes, which their jokes are just references. Let's get that straight. That they just figured, hey, we can do whatever we want. People love what's going on. I see a lot of movies do this, and they often do it too early. They seem to assume that you're already in love with their characters and they can do whatever they want. You'll go with it. It's like,
If
no.
Jim Henson loves it,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
From the grave.
Yeah, from the grave.
Although, Cyrus, they want
Because he's evil, man.
when everything else was a reference, there's this one that I was like, I wonder if Cyrus appreciated this, where it's like, wait, genetically modified German children? I did not see that coming. I was like,
It wasn't enough.
yeah. I just groaned. It was like, wow, they found a way to work Nazi.
If they had gone deeper into the Nazi thing, I would have actually probably appreciated that. But the thing is, this movie also has no balls of any kind. I mean, it's like anytime there's a bit that could turn into something funny, they just cut it off and go back to the same old mediocre references that were old 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And sure enough, this is by people who are more associated with doing kinder, gentler stuff, so to speak. Like one of the guys has done videos with Christian rock bands. That's kind of his thing. If that tells you anything at all.
He makes awesome music.
I'm sorry, which Christian rock band are you talking about?
Striper, dude.
You two started the Christian rock band.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying bands that are Christian. That's fine. There's lots of those. I'm saying bands that their whole gig is Christian and rock. Woo!
I guess you two skirted that, but they were quick to like, hey, we're all about Jesus. And, give praise to the Lord.
Right.
And those checks start rolling in. They're like, well, he's our co-pilot. I'm sure he's on that somewhere.
He didn't actually write the songs. And by the way, Christian metal bands at that.
All the way, Striper.
Darkness for light.
Rifle, yes. I'm still waiting for that Striper reunion.
It's gonna happen in the Rapture.
So I'm guessing after seeing Wasp's album title "Fuck Like a Beast" that they were not one of those. Anyway, but this is it's just more mediocre. The only reason it's made this big screen at all is because of its association with the first one, which you can't believe it's actually, and it is the same director and writer. You can't believe
I know.
it.
That is depressing.
Well, especially as watching the Blu-ray for the first one to see, when they interviewed, especially the Edwards brothers, Corey F. and the other brothers, how excited they were. They were really into it. And watching them, it made you go like, wow, you know what? I'm happy I like this movie because these guys are fun. And they were really trying. It wasn't just some studio project. It was personal to them. This doesn't seem the least bit personal. Or if it is, the last movie was a complete fluke.
Yeah, it's just a blatant cash grab.
Yes.
So it's just kind of a screw you to the audiences. It feels like we put a lot of work and time building up the first one to where we wanted to be. It felt like they had put work into that story, into the jokes. And here it feels like there was no work at all. They sat around having a couple beers and just anything they could think of, they wrote down. And like you said earlier, none of it got cut.
Well, yeah.
So they pulled a Wachowski's brother.
Well, you know what? We're a Matrix felt completely misguided, like just went completely off the rails in a big way. This felt more like contractual obligation.
Yeah.
Like they got done. These guys were happy with what they did. Can't believe we made it through. We liked the movie. And then somebody said, okay, there's enough demand. We want another one. And we're like, nah, that's all right. No, you guys don't understand. You signed a contract. You have to do another one.
Yeah. And although apparently they didn't catch Anne Hathaway or Jim Belushi at that crap.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, when the according
Who's trying to catch Jim Belushi first?
And the according to Jim guy gets away because he won't even do it.
Man, Jim Belushi was the most innocuous voice in the first one because it's like he doesn't do anything as that character. That character's barely in the movie. The Woodsman, you don't even know it's him. When you find out it's him, you just go, whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like
Yeah,
the only person who didn't come back.
All I said is, how the fuck did Jim Belushi get in this movie? This was good.
Yeah, exactly. Dang, Cyrus. Well, once again, I just felt like, it's a low rental, but man, you keep talking me into some old bullshit ratings.
I don't know what else to say here. I'm like I said, you said, there's moments I chuckled. I'm like, are there, Leon? Are there really moments you chuckled?
I mean, gosh, to have a genuine moment you chuckle, you think that the next day after seeing a movie you would remember what it was.
Yeah, it would have some meaning for you because when everything else was that bad, that one little, desert island of safety, that one moment when you felt, hey, maybe this will all be okay, would still stick in your memory. But it doesn't because it wasn't real. It was an oasis. It was an illusion.
Right.
It wasn't good. There were no funny parts. There were just parts that were just a tiny bit less horrible than the rest of it.
Think about your ratings. I mean, I get where you're coming from because I've seen plenty of fucking terrible comedies. I'm always laughing because I see some old man who can barely walk in the background. So people confuse that actually being funny. But
You're right.
Think about that.
No. You bring it back to the pod race in the Phantom Menace. People came out going like, the pod race is awesome. Like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was like the one moment that wasn't utter shit. It was like after a long, boring hour, something finally happened, and you got excited. You thought that was the whole movie. When you go back and look at pod race, it's pretty goddamn dull.
It is pretty dull, yeah, and it's the most irritating announcer guy.
Yes.
And I was like, stop it. Just stop trying to tell jokes, George Lucas, because you're not good at them.
Yeah, it's a race that has, ultimately, there's no consequence. There's no emotional consequence. It's like, why are we even doing this?
I tell you, it's like we just reviewed before this damn thing. And that's completely fair. And yet I liked this so much less than that. It never made me angry per se.
Right.
But I feel like I can't even give it a fuck you because I was never pissed. I was just bored out of my mind. But I tell you, half the audience walked out of this film. Really? And I'm talking including families with little kids. They were just bored as shit. They just left.
You sure they didn't shit the fan?
Well, it would have been like 20 people. Seriously, they just were like, nah, fuck this. And left like about half hour in. Like, wow. I would have, if Leon's ghost was kicking people on the back into my seat.
I never thought about.
Smell this shit.
You ain't going nowhere, motherfucker.
I guess I never thought about walking out, but I did have that feeling like I wish this would just be over. I wish they would just wrap it up and end it.
Yeah, anything. I don't care at this point.
Yeah.
Seriously, they all die. The end. Okay.
They all get happy. The villains have a change of heart. Whatever it takes.
It doesn't matter. There's nothing you can. After about the 30-minute point, you realize there's nothing that can be done to fix it.
Yeah.
And after that, it's over, and it is, and it does get worse. Keep in mind, it does. So if you're ignoring our advice, you go see it. You're at that 30-minute mark. You're like, going, well, it might still get muddy at some point. It doesn't. Get out now while you can.
Yeah, obviously you're probably at a Metroplex where there's other movies showing.
Yeah.
Just get up and go into one
Just
of those.
walk into one of the others.
But I heard Jim Belushi's in it.
This is I low some old bullshit. This is
Yeah.
at the lowest tier, right?
I
Not
give
quite
it a
fuck
high
you.
some old bullshit.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't
I've ever been high enough to give this a red pill.
I think both of you guys are high. Just calling it low and high.
The problem, see, I would give it a low rental, but it breaks your heart. It could have been something, Charlie.
You're breaking my heart telling me this, because I mean, I was honestly looking for, like, this is another movie. I was planning on going to see it today, and it was playing a little too late before we did this. But the thing is, I was really pumped, man, because I really wanted to go back and revisit that first movie, because it was one of those movies where you're like, wow, I haven't really heard too much about this film, and I really don't hear anybody talking about it, but watching it, it's like, it was like, for me, it was like finding a rare gem. Yeah. Where you're just like, man, why is this film not as popular as it should be?
Yeah.
And she sucks at second one.
Yeah, when you watch this one, it is everything you thought that first one was. I would argue that almost every single one of those movies where they are that weird little gem, they're not wonderful, but they're wow, this is surprisingly good. I think it wouldn't be that. Almost nobody knows about almost all those that have sequels. The sequels are just fucking. That's true. Yeah, I mean it's weird luck thing.
You know what? Yeah, it's funny because I got that with Agent Cody Banks, where it's like this movie's gonna be terrible. After 5 years, I don't want to see this. It's like, wow, it's actually got a brain to it. These jokes are genuinely funny. I'm falling for this movie. The second one came out. Wow, complete dog shit.
That's why I'm really grateful they never made a sequel to Sky.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I just keep thinking, man, I hope they never fucking make a sequel to Boondock Saints.
Don't tell him.
What?
He's not ready for it.
Where's it at?
So maybe we should just go for a walk.
What are you talking about here? I don't get these riddles.
I was always afraid this was gonna happen.
Look at the rabbits, George.
Now you would have figured right after the first foot went, you'd be like, all right, where's the next one? I know y'all got one.
Well, how long ago was the first one?
About 20 years ago, because I've been counting the days.
It actually came out before Snow
I
White.
would say it was at least a good 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
2006. is when it
Yeah.
came out. January 2006.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man! Did I nail it or what?
Yeah, you did.
And the thing is, it's not like they waited 5 years to work on it. They got right on it, finished it, and then they got into a legal battle with Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, so it's been tied up for about 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they were just like perfecting their craft, like getting them jokes ready. I was like, man, this is gonna be the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, no.
I think that the first one, which was,
It was cute.
it was like really terrible animation. First off, like
It's one of those where like, I remember the time I saw it, I went with no expectations. They didn't have a screening for it, and I just went. I want to see it. I remember it being murky, and I was like, I don't have high hopes for this, but it was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
was.
that's what saved it.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
because I mean, I think I rented it like about 3 months after it came out, and it's one of those things I was just like, boy, close my eyes, pick up whatever. That was it. Checked it out, and I was like, wow, this animation does look like it was made fucking at community college. But it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, it was during the time, like the heyday of Patrick Warburton doing animated voices.
Yeah.
I mean, now he does it so much, it's not even anything
And
special.
he was there playing the Big Bad Wolf, of course, who was dealing with Red Riding Hood, who was voiced by Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
And one of the things that worked about that movie so well was that it was a take on Kurosawa's Rashomon, where it was like, wait, that's not what really happened. Let's hear this other version of the story as it kept going back.
The classic point of view.
Yeah, until the point of hearing the point of view until finally the person who's like sorting it all out manages to figure out what's really inside.
Well, also with the take on the Big Bad Wolf, where he was so much after Red Riding Hood, he was Chevy Chase from Flesh.
Yeah, completely.
A reporter doing the different disguises. He had his great sidekick, the Twitchy the Squirrel, which was at the same time that Over the Hedge had a over caffeinated squirrel too.